Not many people really know what their credit score is, but it can be really important for a number of life events. And Tony Walls with Town & Country Credit Union is back to give us some great financial advice. So thanks for coming in again today.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to start just with why we should be aware of what our credit score is.
Well, I think the biggest thing with the credit scores is we just want to make sure that when there comes a time for a loan and it all, emergencies pop up, you got to get that new car, you got to get that home loan, that you get the best deal you can. So the credit score is going to dictate what rate. And the reason for that is the lower the score, obviously maybe there's some past late payments or some things that get paid. So the risk for the bank or the credit union is higher, so your rate's going to be higher. So you got to kind of, as I always say, you got to kind of play the game and get that highest score you can to get the best rate you can. Because there's a pretty big difference between a 720 score and a 620 score. And I think we all work too hard to pay the banks more than they need.
So you threw out a couple numbers. What is a good range and what's a, you better get your act together range?
Yeah, typically anything above a 740 or 720 I consider like an A. And that's typically, let's just say a car loan, you're going to be at about 3 or 4%. So real good, real decent rate. Kind of the next tier is maybe a 620 to 7 or 680 to 720. That would be, I kind of called it the B range, and you're going to pay 4 or 5%. About 679 to about 641, kind of a C, kind of probably some work to do, but not horrible. Anything below, like a 620 or below a 600, probably need to sit down with somebody and get a game plan and get that rate up, because if you're below a 600 and you probably won't get approved for a car loan, but if you do, you may pay 20% on a car loan, which is absolutely ridiculous. So let's just say on a $10,000 loan, you pay $2,000 that first year just in interest, as opposed to on that same $10,000 loan, if you get a 740 score, you pay 3%, that's $300.
It's a huge difference.
Yes.
I mean, right? $2,000 versus $300.
Absolutely.
Just a 1 year.
Yep, and that's why it can be a cycle, because you end up trying to play catch up on credit cards and other things. So the better your score, obviously, the less interest you pay, the more it's going to go to principal. So you got to play the game.
So how can you check your credit score? Some banks and credit unions now offer that for free, but there is out there that, don't check it because it's,
Yeah, if it's a hard pull, like if you come into me and you apply for a loan, obviously we pull the credit, and like at other banks and car dealerships and so forth. You can, a lot of the credit cards will have kind of the free credit check, which is it's a good guide. It's not your official score, I always say. But it's a good guide, like Discover and Capital One. Those aren't bad, they're pretty close. Credit Karma is a good guide, but I have people come in and I'm a 700 and they're a 660, or I'm a 620 and they're a 650. So, but it's a good guide to see what's out there if things are past due, and just kind of get a grip on where you're at with your credit score.
And so you mentioned some things that could hurt your credit score, late payments and things like that. How can you improve it?
The best thing is to sit down with somebody and find out where you're at. Find out what's on the actual credit report. Maybe there's a little collection that you had you need to take care of, and you want to make sure that, paying on time is number one. Keep those credit cards down and try not to open too many new lines at once. All
at once. But having some credit cards and having some, flexibility in what you can use is a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. You want that available credit, because a third-year score is utilization of credit. So in a roundabout way, don't max out the credit cards.
Tony, thank you so much for coming in. You're with Town & Country. If you have any questions, they can give you a call and get their credit score in shape, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Stay with us. Coming up here on North Dakota Today, a brand new medical center is up in Fargo, and we're going to be